Hi guys, so today I'm going to teach you how to make a legend for a density plot. This method transfers over just as well to any other type of plot, but right now we're using density plots. As you can see, I've plotted two different normal distributions. Our first normal distribution is in red right here, and it's a distribution with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. The second distribution has a mean of 1 and a standard deviation of 0.5, and as you can see, it's in blue. Also, both distributions have different line types, which is specified by this command here and this command here. And these will come in handy as much as you can differentiate your two different distributions, or however many distributions you're using, from one another. Your legend making will be easier, and your legend will be easier to understand for your professor or for whoever you're writing this plot for. So going on to making the actual legend, our first command that we're going to use is we're going to designate the titles for our different distributions. The way I do that is first create a term, I call it labels, that has the names for both of our distributions, and this needs to be done before your actual legend coding. I'll call my first distribution norm1 and my second distribution norm2. And again, our first distribution is this one right here, and our second distribution is this one right here. So after you have titles designated for both distributions, you can start on your actual legend command, which predictably is legend. The first command you're going to put in here is what position you want the legend to be at on your plot. I go with top right, but you can also do top left, bottom right, bottom left, center. And the next, you can change how far in to your plot is using the inset command. And I normally just inset by a little bit, 0.05, but you can fool around with that and figure out whatever you like. Give your graph a title. We'll call this one legend. And this will show up inside of the legend box. And now is when we'll use our labels designation that we made earlier to put in our title, or our two titles. I also normally increase the line weight because it makes it look a little bit better, so from 1 to 2. When you want to designate the colors for your two different labels, you have to do it in the same order that you did your labels command. So your norm1 color has to come first before your norm2 color. So here's how you do that. Color equals, and then just make a list of your colors. And it can go, say you had 5 or 6 different distributions plotting at the same time. As long as you have 5 or 6 variables here, you can also have 5 or 6 color types here. But we're just going to stick with red for our first distribution because that's the color it is in the graph, and blue for our second. And now we also have different line types, so we'll do that here. Line type equals, and this is the same thing as you go through for color. You have to make sure they're in the right order. But those are two line types for our two different distributions, and now you can obviously put in as many different characteristics as you want. If you have different line weights for both of them, you can put different line weights there as well. But that's all we're going to do right now, and plot it all and see what we get. There we go. And our legend looks nice, makes the graph look more professional, and that's all you need to do to make a legend.